and the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Jenkins, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 Podcast for Tuesday, April 22nd. Millions of Catholics around the globe are mourning the death of Pope Francis, the Vatican confirming he died yesterday at age 88 of heart failure and stroke, just hours after his final Easter blessing. The Archbishop of Indianapolis, Charles Thompson, is speaking out for the first time this morning. News 8's Hernan Gutierrez reports.
Archbishop Charles Thompson did meet the Pope on a number of occasions, most notably in 2019 when the Pontiff visited the United States. The Archbishop says he'll remember the Pontiff for his life of humility. He, along with Catholics here in Indianapolis and around the world, is remembering Pope Francis for his advocacy for marginalized communities like immigrants and those in poverty. Thompson also touched on how Pope Francis appointed him to be the Archbishop here in Indianapolis and how he appointed his predecessor, now Archbishop of Newark, Joseph Tobin, as a cardinal. In his 12-year papacy, Francis often clashed with conservatives in the church for his criticism of capitalism and his outreach to the LGBTQ+ community. Archbishop Thompson says Pope Francis will be remembered as a very social head of the church.
Pope Francis realized that people need to be brought back together to a dialogue, to relationships. Encounter, he talks about encounter a lot. Encounter implies relationship. You can't encounter someone without being relational.
In the coming weeks, the College of Cardinals will meet for the papal conclave to elect the next pope. Pope Francis appointed 108 of the 135 voting cardinals of who will choose the next pope. Archbishop Thompson says he will celebrate a special mass here in Indianapolis on Thursday at noon. That'll be just down the road from here at St. Peter and Paul Cathedral. News 8's Cody Fisher will have more from the Archbishop coming up on your news at 5 and 6. Reporting downtown, I'm Hernan Gutierrez for WishTV, WishTV.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
Today is Earth Day, and Governor Mike Braun marked the moment by signing 2 executive orders, both aimed at mining rare earth minerals and water resource management. Braun says he wants Indiana to become a leader in recovering rare earth minerals from coal ash. His executive order would create a council on the minerals often used in things like batteries, smartphones, and auto parts. Right now, the U.S. depends on China for the minerals, but China recently restricted their export in reaction to President Trump's tariffs. Braun's second order mandates the creation of a statewide inventory and management plan for water resources. Police in Indianapolis are working to solve a deadly shooting on the city's north side. Investigators were called just after 6:40 last night to the hub at Nora Apartments. That's off of North College Avenue. Police say a man with gunshot wounds died at the scene. Authorities say they do have a person of interest. As of now, they have not announced any arrests. The U.S. Department of Education says it will resume collecting federal student loans in default on May 5th. This will end a roughly 5-year-long pandemic-era pause and could impact more than 5 million borrowers. Student loans go into default after 270 days without payment. The department is urging borrowers to start making a monthly payment, enroll in an income-driven repayment plan, or to sign up for loan rehabilitation. If not, the federal agency could order non-federal employers to withhold a percentage of an employee's income to pay the delinquent debt. Harvard University says it's suing the Trump administration to stop a freeze on billions of dollars in federal funding. Harvard recently said it would not follow the administration's demands to limit campus activism. The administration then froze billions of dollars in medical research grants to the university. The Trump administration has threatened to revoke funding for multiple universities, saying it's working to combat anti-Semitism on campuses. The schools targeted were the scene of large protests last year over the war in Gaza. Let's talk sports. The Pacers take on the Bucks tonight at Gamebridge in Game 2 of the first round of the NBA playoffs. Right now, Indiana is in the lead after winning on Saturday 117-98. Star guard Tyrese Halliburton talked to our sports director Anthony Calhoun ahead of the showdown. He says maintaining a team effort is crucial.
Understanding that in the playoffs, it ain't about individual performances, it's just about winning. So we know every game's going to call on somebody different. Some games going to call on me to have a big game, Pascal a big game, Miles, Aaron, Andrew, Ben, Jairus, TJ, all the guys in rotation. I mean, everybody's got to be prepared for that, and I think it comes down to our preparation.
Game 2 tips off at 7 tonight. In Fishers, the City Council has passed a new ordinance that puts limits on home rentals. News 8's Danielle Zulkowski reports.
This new ordinance had split support in the meeting. Councilors allowed the public to talk for 30 minutes. Those in support of the ordinance only had one more person speaking than those against. It was a fairly brief discussion by councilors before that unanimous vote in favor of the ordinance that will cap rentals at 10% of each subdivision. The ordinance would grandfather in rental homes in areas that are already above the 10% cap. No new permits will be granted until that subdivision gets under the 10% limit.
We've seen over the past few years tons of large corporate rental companies and private equity investors come to Fishers and all of Hamilton County and scoop up homes with cash, which is not allowing, first-time home buyers, for example, to purchase homes.
Others are against the proposal. Concerns range from this ordinance reducing average home prices to it creating a lack of necessary rentals in the city.
It definitely restricts property rights of its citizens. Also, what you're doing is reducing the demand for properties, carving out an entire pool of buyers. Investors won't be able to buy homes, which is going to reduce home values. Also, you're going to limit the number of rentals. That's going to cause rentals in our area to skyrocket.
Many are also concerned this will face legal challenges and taxpayers will foot the bill. It is set to go into effect next year. This ordinance could face another hurdle in the State House. There's now language in a bill that could be passed that would ban local entities from enacting these types of ordinances. I'm Danielle Zulkowski for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook for updates.
When it comes to the weather, Storm Track 8 says we are in for a warm and pleasant day. Meteorologist Tara Hastings has your News 8 Daily 8 forecast.
We've got mostly sunny skies out there right now, just a little bit of some high-level cloud cover. That's it. Good morning to Carmel. You're coming in at 58 degrees right now. Also in Fishers and Noblesville, Lebanon coming in at 58, 60 degrees now in Indianapolis and Greenfield, 59 in Greenwood, and 60 right now in the Martinsville area. We'll kind of widen the view out and show you maybe a few high-level clouds drifting in from time to time across parts of central Indiana. But that's it. We're going to look for mainly sunny skies, I think, all day long. And the winds are going to be light as well. High pressure moves off to the east of us. We've got a warm front lifting northward. That's going to warm our temperatures up nicely this afternoon. 60 degrees here at 11 o'clock. It will get up into the 70s later this afternoon. The winds out of the south between about 5 and 10 miles per hour. That's it. Look for lots of sunshine through much of the day today. The normal high for this time of year, 66. I think we will see readings into the 70s this afternoon. 74 in Indianapolis, 71 in South Bend, 70 Fort Wayne and Richmond, and then mid-70s across parts of southern Indiana later on this afternoon. We are going to see a couple warm days ahead for the middle part of the work week, and the winds are going to stay on the light side. We do have some rain chances that will eventually move in for the end of the work week.
Taking a peek at Tara's full forecast, just head over to wishtv.com, or you can download the Storm Track 8 app. And don't forget to check out our Storm Track 8 weather blogs. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 podcast for Tuesday, April 22nd. I'm Jeremy Jenkins for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.